The cry for help, 770 words. The story opens with Earth receiving its first alien transmission. The message comes from the Kelani, a peaceful species of blue-skinned beings who live on floating cities above their ocean world. Their message is simple but desperate. They are under attack by the Vorth Empire, brutal conquerors who strip planets of resources and enslave entire populations. The Kelani explain that the Vorth have already destroyed 3 of their major cities. Their defensive fleet is no match for Vorth warships. They have heard rumors of a warrior species called humans who recently joined the Galactic community. The Kelani beg for help, offering their advanced medical technology and knowledge of Star. Navigation in return. Captain Reed of the Earth Defense Force meets with Admiral Stone and the Global Defense Council. Many officials are hesitant. Humanity has only been in space for 50 years. Their ships are smaller and less advanced than most alien vessels. Some argue they should stay out of galactic conflicts, but Captain Reed argues differently. He points out that humans have one advantage other species seem to lack. They know how to fight dirty. While other species engage in formal space battles with rules and honor codes, humans learned warfare through thousands of years of brutal conflict on Earth. The transmission from the Kelani shows massive Vorth dreadnoughts slowly destroying the floating cities. The Kelani ships fire precise energy beams, but retreat when the Vorth return fire. They follow galactic war conventions, avoiding civilian areas and giving opponents time to surrender. Admiral Stone makes the decision. Earth will send a small fleet to help the Kelani, but they will not fight like other species. They will fight like humans. The story establishes that humans are seen as a minor species by most aliens. The Kelani are desperate enough to ask for help from anyone. The Vorth Empire considers humans too primitive to be a threat. This sets up the underestimation that will be their downfall. Captain Reed assembles his crew aboard the battleship Defiance. His fleet includes 5 destroyers and 2 supply ships. Compared to the massive Vorth fleet, it seems hopeless. But Reed has a plan that no alien species would ever consider. The human way of war, 770 words. The human fleet arrives at the Kelani system to find the situation worse than expected. The Vorth have blockaded the planet and are systematically destroying cities. Their massive ships form a defensive line. Daring anyone to challenge them, Captain Reed contacts the Kelani leader, Elder Nix, who is grateful but worried. The human ships look tiny compared to the Vorth vessels. Elder Nix explains that the Kelani have tried everything: formal challenges, negotiation, even offering tribute. The Vorth commander, General Kral, demands complete surrender and slavery, studies the battlefield, and notices something important. The Vorth fight with honor and tradition. Their ships move in formation. They announce their attacks. They avoid striking during night cycles, out of respect for the dead. They even allow evacuation ships to leave unmolested. Reed calls a meeting with his captains. He explains that humans will not follow these rules. While the Vorth expect honorable space combat, humans will use every dirty trick they know. They will attack from behind asteroids, strike during night cycles, and target supply lines instead of warships. The human fleet splits up and hides throughout the system. They use the asteroid belt as cover and wait for the right moment. When a Vorth supply convoy approaches, the humans strike without warning. They destroy the cargo ships and disappear before the main fleet can respond. General Kral is outraged. He demands the humans face him in honorable combat. Reed responds by attacking the Vorth communication relay, cutting off their coordination. Next, he targets their fuel depot on a nearby moon, leaving several Vorth ships stranded. The Kelani watch in shock as the humans ignore every rule of civilized warfare. They use mines, ambush tactics, and hit-and-run attacks. When the Vorth try to retaliate against civilian targets, Reed threatens to start targeting Vorth crew quarters during sleep cycles, something so dishonorable that even the brutal Vorth hesitate. Elder Nyx begins to understand why the humans are effective. They do not see war as a game with rules. They see it as survival where anything goes. The Vorth are powerful but predictable. The humans are weaker but completely unpredictable. The part ends with Reed preparing his most audacious plan yet. A direct assault on the Vorth flagship while pretending to negotiate surrender. Fire and fury. 770 words. Reed contacts General Krall and requests a meeting to discuss surrender terms. The Vorth commander, believing he has finally broken the humans, agrees to a formal parley aboard his flagship, the Iron Thunder. According to galactic law, both sides must respect the ceasefire during negotiations, but Reed has no intention of surrendering. While he travels to the Vorth flagship with a small diplomatic shuttle, the rest of his fleet prepares for the most dangerous mission in human history. They will use the parley as a distraction to get close to the enemy fleet. Aboard the Iron Thunder, Reed meets General Krall, a massive reptilian creature with battle scars covering his hide. Krall expects the human to beg for mercy or offer tribute. Instead, Reed calmly discusses terms while secretly studying the ship's layout and defenses. The negotiations drag on for hours. Krall grows impatient, but Reed keeps asking for more details about the surrender terms. He claims he needs to consult with Earth before agreeing to anything. The Vorth general, following tradition, allows the delay. Meanwhile, the human fleet moves into position. Using the diplomatic ceasefire, they approach the Vorth formation under the pretense of preparing to surrender. The Vorth ships power down. Their weapons as required by Galactic protocol during formal negotiations. Reed gives the signal by casually mentioning that humans have it, saying, "All is fair in love and war." The moment those words are transmitted, the human fleet opens fire at point-blank range. The surprise attack devastates the Vorth fleet. Half their ships are disabled or destroyed before they can raise shields. The humans target engines and weapon systems rather than trying to destroy the massive vessels outright. They use their speed and agility to dart between the larger ships, causing maximum damage. General Krall roars in fury, calling Reed a dishonorable coward. Reed calmly responds that humans never claim to be honorable. They only claim to be effective. He activates a hidden bomb that his team planted during the negotiations, crippling the flagship's main reactor. The battle becomes a chaotic melee as the remaining Vorth ships try to reorganize. But the humans continue their hit-and-run tactics, appearing from unexpected angles and vanishing before the Vorth can respond. They use the debris from destroyed ships as cover and launch missiles from hiding spots throughout the asteroid field. The Kelani, inspired by human courage, join the fight with their remaining ships. Though their weapons are weak, they provide crucial support by rescuing human pilots and supplying ammunition. Elder Nyx realizes that the humans are not just fighting for the Kelani. They are fighting because it is the right thing to do. The part ends with the Vorth fleet in full retreat, their forces scattered and their flagship dead in space. The price of victory, 770 words. The Vorth retreat leaves the Kelani system free, but the victory comes at a cost. 2 human destroyers were lost, and many crew members died in the desperate battle. Reed stands on the bridge of his damaged flagship, watching rescue shuttles search for survivors among the wreckage. Elder Nyx contacts Reed to express gratitude, but the human captain seems troubled. The Kelani leader asks what is wrong. They have won a great victory against impossible odds. Reed explains that humans do not celebrate war, even when they win. Every battle has a price, and good people always pay it. The aftermath reveals the true scope of the Vorth threat. Intelligence recovered from their ships shows that the Empire was planning to attack dozens of peaceful worlds. The Kelani were just the first target in a massive campaign of conquest. Without human intervention, millions of innocent beings would have been enslaved or killed. But the victory also reveals something disturbing about human nature. Reed's crew, while effective, showed a level of ruthlessness that shocked their alien allies. They were willing to break every rule, ignore every tradition, and use any tactic necessary to win. The Kelani begin to understand why humans were so effective, and why they might be dangerous. News of the battle spreads throughout the galaxy. The Fourth Empire, humiliated by their defeat, brands humans as savage barbarians who fight without honor. Other species are divided. Some see humans as heroes who saved innocent lives, while others worry about a species that seems to have no limits in warfare. Reed receives a transmission from Admiral Stone on Earth. More alien species are requesting human help against various threats. Pirates, slavers, and aggressive empires all seem to fear the humans' unconventional tactics. But Stone warns that Earth's resources are limited. They cannot fight every battle in the galaxy. The Kelani offer to share their advanced technology, with Earth as payment for their rescue. Their medical knowledge could save countless human lives, and their navigation systems could help Earth explore new regions of space. But they also offer something more valuable: friendship and alliance. Asterisk. Elder Nix visits Reed aboard the Defiance before the human fleet departs. The Kelani leader admits that he was initially horrified by human methods of warfare. But he has come to understand that sometimes, when facing true evil, conventional approaches are not enough. Devorth would have shown no mercy to Kelani civilians. Why should humans show mercy to Vorth soldiers? Reed explains that humans learned long ago that the universe is not always fair or honorable. Sometimes good people must do terrible things to protect those who cannot protect themselves. This is the burden that humans carry. They are willing to be seen as monsters if it means innocent people can live in peace. The part ends with the human fleet preparing to return to Earth. But Reed knows this is just the beginning. Word of human capabilities has spread, and soon other species will come asking for help. Earth must decide what role it wants to play in galactic affairs. The fire spreads, 770 words. 6 months after the Kelani rescue, Earth finds itself at the center of galactic attention. The story opens with Captain Reed, now promoted to Admiral, reviewing dozens of requests for military assistance. Species from across the galaxy are begging for human help against various threats: pirates, slavers, territorial disputes, and aggressive neighbors. The Global Defense Council is divided on how to respond. Some officials want to establish Earth as a major galactic power by accepting every mission. Others worry that humans are getting a reputation as mercenaries who solve every problem with violence. Admiral Stone argues for a middle path: help those who truly need it, but avoid getting dragged into every conflict. Asterisk. Reed is assigned to investigate a new crisis. The Moth people, insectoid beings who live in vast hive cities, report that their colony ships are being attacked by unknown raiders. Entire populations are disappearing, and the Moth suspect they are being harvested for some terrible purpose. When Reed arrives at the Moth system, he discovers the truth is worse than anyone imagined. The raiders are not pirates or slavers. They are the Devourers, an ancient species that feeds on the life force of other beings. They have been dormant for centuries, but something has awakened them, and they are spreading across the galaxy like a plague. The Devourers are unlike any enemy humans have faced. They cannot be negotiated with, bribed, or frightened. They exist only to consume other life forms. Their ships are biological constructs that can heal damage and adapt to attacks. Traditional warfare is useless against them. Reed realizes that this threat is beyond any single species to handle. He sends urgent messages to every world that has requested human aid explaining that all their conflicts are meaningless if the Devourers continue to spread. The galaxy must unite or face extinction. The response is mixed. Some species agree to work together, but others refuse to cooperate with their traditional enemies. The Vorth Empire, still bitter about their defeat, actually seems pleased that the Devourers are attacking human allies. Reed makes a difficult decision. He broadcasts a message to every inhabited world in the galaxy, explaining the Devourer threat and making a promise. Any species that helps fight the Devourers will have Earth's protection. Any species that refuses to help or actively supports the enemy will be left to face the consequences alone. The message causes chaos throughout galactic civilization. Some species accuse humans of trying to establish an empire through fear. Others realize that Reed is offering them something no other species ever has, a chance to be part of something bigger than their individual worlds. Elder Nyx of the Kelani is among the first to respond, offering their entire fleet to the cause. The Moth people, despite their losses, provide intelligence about Devourer tactics. Even some former enemies begin to reconsider their positions as the scale of the threat becomes clear. Asterisk Reed assembles the largest fleet in galactic history, hundreds of ships from dozens of species, all united under human command. It is not because humans are the strongest or most advanced, but because they are the only ones willing to make the hard decisions that victory requires. The story ends with Reed standing on the bridge of his flagship, watching the combined fleet prepare for the greatest battle in galactic history. He reflects on how far humanity has come, from a single desperate call for help to leading an entire galaxy against extinction. But he also knows that victory will come at a terrible price. The Devourers will not be defeated by conventional tactics or honorable warfare. They will only be stopped by the same ruthless determination that humans showed at Kelani, the willingness to do whatever it takes, no matter how dark or brutal, to protect innocent life. The final lines establish that this is just the beginning of humanity's role in the galaxy. They answered one cry for help with fire, and that fire has spread across the stars. Now they must decide whether that fire will burn away the darkness or consume everything in its path. The galaxy will never be the same, and neither will humanity. They have become what they never wanted to be, the guardians of a hostile universe, carrying the burden of making the choices that others cannot make.